Hi, everyone. Welcome to 7th House Astrology Podcast. I'm Heather, and I'm here to talk about the messy, beautiful, and sometimes exhausting world of relationships. Well, hello, everyone. How are we? I want to start today by sending a huge thank you to everyone who came out to the San Diego Astrological Society's annual Bazaar. As SDAS's biggest fundraising event of the year, I am blown away by the turnout. Wow, what an incredible outcome. We connected with wonderful new healers and hosted so many amazing guests for readings. Thank you all for bringing your energy and participating in such a special spiritually healing event. A special thank you goes out to all the gifted readers who generously volunteered their time for our cause. I also want to point out that I did have a theme in my readings. I had a majority of Leo and Aquariuses on Friday night, and no coincidence that the nodes have shifted into Leo and Aquarius, and we just had a total solar eclipse last week in those two signs. What is that a coincidence? No, because I don't believe in those. But I thought it was pretty spot on. What a beauty to guide them through their charts and the meanings of these eclipses and what's to come up for them in the next 18 months. I hope they all got the message the universe intended for them on that glorious night. This event was particularly meaningful for me because I have made the difficult decision to step down as president of San Diego Astrological Society. It truly breaks my heart, but as you know, my life is lifing right now, and my energy needs to be focused elsewhere, and I just can't give all of my time and energy. And I'd rather have that energy be placed with somebody else who could be there for everyone. So that's what we're doing. Please know that I am not going far. I will always support our San Diego community, continuing volunteering at the future bazaars, and I will drop into meetings whenever I can. And to all my dedicated San Diego members who routinely show up every single month, I'm going to miss seeing your faces every month, but I know our paths will cross again soon. Okay, wow, the timing. We are about to discuss the earth element of Virgo, and this week we are entering Virgo season. Yes, on Sunday, the 23rd, we enter Virgo season. Yes, finally, everyone can be quiet about all the fall stuff in the stores already. Hey, I look at summer as one step closer to fall. I love everything autumn. And when we are miserably hot, looking forward to the smells of nutmeg, pumpkin, cinnamon. Oh yes, Virgo season brings the fall equinox. This happens on September 22nd, 2026 here in San Diego. Listen, I admittedly bought Starbucks oatmeal. Thank you, Starbucks, for thinking of us lactose intolerant people. But yes, Starbucks oatmeal pumpkin spice coffee creamer yesterday, and I have already had 3 cups since buying it. Yes, it's a billion degrees outside, but coffee's coffee, honey. I mean, come on. You could put ice in it. Okay, let's go back to Virgo. So with us moving into Virgo season, the topics and discussions today should be applied to you as well, as you do have Virgo in our charts, and the sun will be traveling through that house. Look at the house that you have Virgo in and know on Sunday the spotlight is going to be shining in that house. So let's ride the Virgo season terrain. So let's talk about Virgo and Mercury, shall we? Mercury is the planetary ruler of Virgo. Mercury governs how we communicate, think, and connect with one another, and actually connections of all kinds. It rules our minds, shaping our practical logic, daily reasoning, and how we process information. Mercury is also connected to our nervous system, along with Uranus. I envision Mercury through our nervous system in the synapses, which is a space between 2 neurons that communicate with each other. Again, communication. I will explain this simply. Okay, quickly pinch yourself on your arm. Okay, now that pinch had to travel from your arm to your brain to tell your brain that the pinch hurt. This happens in 0.5 to 2 milliseconds. Yes, fast. Being that information travels because from one neuron to another neuron. Mercury is also associated with movement and transportation. The brain, through electrical neurons, tells your legs to move, right? We do this subconsciously. We think it's automatic, but it's not. We thought it fast in our brain and told our legs to move us. It's fascinating, right? How does information get passed around? Well, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about how information gets passed. We have a post office, right? Back in the day, there were carrier pigeons. We text message, emails, the newspaper, books, even down to our pen and paper. Reading, listening, talking, publishing, printing, libraries. Now social media and what we're all taking in, which is dangerous now because I can't tell the difference between something that's fake or real. And damn social media, can you leave my animals alone? They're great enough on their own. Yes, I don't want to see a walking pug, okay? I want to see a pug be a pug because they're funny enough just being a pug. Same with pandas. Leave pandas alone. They're already amazing. Hey, fun fact here. Do you know what a group of pandas is called? It's called an embarrassment. I know that's the Chinese translation, but it's like, shouldn't it be entertainment? Because they were just amazing. Okay, back to Mercury. Mercury rules transportation of any kind. That's cars, navigation, local transportation, and coordination. Bikes, buses, railroads, river transport. Can these things all send communication and information? Yeah, they can. Okay, so I hope you get the drift of Mercury. It's about transmission and communication and all kinds of information that we intake and also what we spout out of our mouths, okay? Now, let's talk about the second earth sign, Virgo. But before we do that, I want to illustrate something. And on YouTube, I will have a picture of a chart beginning in Aries for you all to follow along. Let's look at the chart for a moment, like a person being born. For those of you not on YouTube, visualize the chart and the first house is Aries. Okay, you were born. That's Aries, first house. Into this world, and now the adventure begins. We move down one more sign, and now we're in Taurus. Okay, now I'm hungry. I need to eat. Okay, I need a roof over my head. I need security. Where's my resources? I need resources in my life. Next, we move down to Gemini, and now we begin to be curious. What's over there? What? Oh, what? The curious Gemini mind realizes that there are other things to learn about besides just our little bodies. Then we meet friends and acquaintances. We learn to communicate and talk, and then someone says something that hurts us, and whoa, what? Wait, what is this? I'm feeling something inside of me. Sometimes I want to laugh. It feels so good. Sometimes I want to cry. What the heck is this? It's feelings? Oh, God, no. Okay. After that little pity party, we begin to build up our confidence and we think, well, how can I create the person I want to be? I am full of creativity, pride, and confidence. No one is ever going to hurt my feelings. I have too much heart for that. And then after learning all the experiences from the beginning of Aries all the way to Leo and how we have discovered ourselves, now we meet Virgo. We have to make sense of all of this information that we've now gathered. We have to put all this information into a system and categorize it to make any kind of sense. Welcome, Virgo. Hello, Virgo. It's nice to meet you. So looking at a chart, the bottom of the chart is all about you, honey. All about you. If you have a ton of planets and points in the first 6 signs in this lifetime, you are learning to develop yourself. The 7th through the 12th is all about the outside world and others. So Virgo is a complete individual when you think of the signs and houses in these terms. For the planet Mercury, it is in its domicile and it's in its exaltation in Virgo. Being the ruler of Virgo and also being an exaltation in Virgo indicates that mercurial energies are extremely dominant and strong for Virgos. I struggle a little bit with this rulership of Mercury and Virgo. Now, I do see tons of similarities with Mercury and Virgos, especially the mental obsessions, but Mercury is an air planet and Virgo is earthy. Virgos are practical while Mercury is intellectual. Virgo is concerned with being effective, and there is this missing quality in Virgo that Mercury expresses, and that's play and games. Virgo is way too serious for game playing. Well, some. Depends on what kind of game. I mean, if a crossword puzzle is a game, then they love that. Or putting a puzzle together is a game. Or trivia is a game. They love that. But in general, Virgos can be pretty serious. I also have followed others who view Chiron as a ruler of Virgo, and I see this as well. Virgo can have an awareness of health as Virgo rules the 6th house of how we take care of our bodies and day-to-day, routines and, our health routines, right? Virgo, the sixth house has to do with health. Virgo has also been associated with Vesta, the Vestal virgins, and as well as Persephone and Demeter, who depicts Virgo as a maiden of agriculture and harvest. That's why you see Virgo with a woman holding wheat. I tend to see Vesta as a strong ruler, as duty and responsibility are important to both Vesta and Virgo. Both have close ties to productivity and work. Neither enjoys recreational activities, and Vesta is the virgin goddess. Okay. With all the Virgo virgin talk, we must not make the erroneous connection that Virgos are prudes or asexual. Virgos are very sexual. They just have this strong relationship to control and obsession. Yet Pluto is not just the psychological energy of obsession. There's a little bit of that with Virgo as well. Virgo is about practicing our skills and refining our ideas, analyzing and organizing these ideas, and then turning them into a system. We can have ideas, but if we don't lay those plans out, create a schedule, create a structure, and a system to make it all come together, then we just have ideas, right? Virgo is how we make these ideas happen. Thank you, universe, for providing us with Virgo energy. Because some of us need those Virgos. Okay, I'm not saying it's me. No. All right, Virgos influence how someone achieves success rather than achievement itself. And when evaluating themselves, Virgo tries to be realistic. Under pressure, Virgos can become one of the most conformist of the entire zodiac. I have seen this, and I believe this doesn't allow Virgos to be the most authentic selves. They do this to make sense of the matter, okay? Virgos like to create order in crisis. They can be obsessive of order in personal habits. They can be the people who get frustrated if things are not orderly, or they may rearrange a closet or label everything in the pantry. We will get more into the perfectionism with Virgo in a few. But in general, Virgos analyze life and create order to life. Now, trust, I know many Virgos, and unfortunately, I had to experience the Virgo who did not attain these traits. Actually, both of my parents are Virgos, and they are the complete opposites of each other. Crazy, right? My mom is your typical Virgo, super helpful, my rock, organizer, life planner, my advisor, my scheduler. Remember, I don't have Earth. I so needed my Virgo mother in this lifetime. My father, on the other hand, had none of the positive traits of Virgo and was the hustler. And I will talk about the hustler, don't worry, when we get into the shadow side of Virgo. Through pop astrology, we learn that Virgo is attached to perfectionism, and they are. And that they are the best employees, have the balanced bank accounts. They are super orderly, but this is not necessarily true. I always say the chart tells the whole story. About 10 years ago, my progressed sun moved into Virgo. Yes, thank you. I finally have Earth energies. Let me explain what a progressed chart is. I'll just break it down really easy. Your progressed chart is a chart that grows and evolves with you. Each year, you turn another age, correct? In your progressed chart, on your first birthday, your sun moves 1 degree. Okay, so you turn 1. And your degree point moves 1 degree. So for instance, let's say you were born with an 8-degree Virgo. Okay, you turn 1 and your sun degree moved to 9-degree Virgo in your progressed chart. So when I turned 11, my progressed sun moved in from Cancer into Leo. So I was a Cancer from 0, from when the day I was born, until I was 11 years old. From 11 years old, my sun became 1 degree Leo in my progressed chart. From 11 to 42, my progressed sun was a Leo. I was building courage, strength, vision, passion, and self-expression. At 42, I am now ready to become grounded. I have always meditated since I was around 27, but I really got into chakra clearing. There's the Virgo body connection. Around this time, I learned to shut off my monkey mind. There's mind connection. And now I'm clear of negative self-talk. I have no anxiety or depression. Again, Mercury. I spent many years alone focusing on myself and connecting my spirituality into reality. In my natal chart, I have Virgo in the 12th house, and this all checks. I also started color coding my closet, which I still do today. I post notes everywhere. Why? Because I'm still learning. I'm a baby Virgo, and I have another 20 years to evolve and become more analytical, practical, realistic, create order, create schedules, make things make sense, become more organized. And I see it. I do see it in myself. There's times I'm like, oh my goodness, the old Heather would never have done this. Again, the Post-it notes. I'm looking around. I'm just on my desk right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five. Oh, there's another one. 6. I have 6 Post-it notes. All reminding me to do something. And in true fashion of the universe, right in time for me to start school. I'm doing very well in school, and I truly believe that tapping into my Virgo progressed sun helps me be organized, helps my schedule, helps my daily routines. Now that I have school in the mix, I have to depend on deadlines, and I want good grades. I'm way more focused than I ever have. I have a 3.92 GPA, and that is unheard of from the Heather in high school. So our evolved charts tells us a ton of where we are today in our journey of life. I will have a separate podcast about progress charts and how they work, but for now, I hope you can understand that Virgo energy. And so let's get into Virgo energy and how we express this energy in ourselves and with others. For Virgos and Scorpios, I feel in pop astrology, they get it the worst. Scorpio's obsessive mistrust, power-hungry manipulation monster is not all Scorpios, and Virgo's perfectionism and lack of sexual prowess is nonsense. Trust me, not all Virgos are tidy. Matter of fact, I've lived with one my whole life, and she is not tidy, okay? I also have a friend who, if someone else didn't help clean up, who knows what his house would look like, or if his laundry or kitchen will ever get cleaned. Please do not mistakenly put Virgos in an ordinary box. They will not fit. Every sign of the zodiac has a fundamental motivation and drive. Cleanliness and perfectionism don't seem to motivate Virgos, but discrimination does. Discrimination in means of dividing things into parts. Virgo is an excellent synthesizer who uses his ability to link experiences and knowledge to bring order to chaos. See, Virgos are not idealists, and in order to be perfect, you have to have an idea of what perfectionism is. Rather than being naively idealistic, Virgo is incredibly pragmatic. Virgo employs discrimination as a technique to evaluate real circumstances, strengths, and shortcomings. Virgo is the most realistic of all the zodiac signs, even more realistic than Taurians. Taurians process the world through their senses and their enormous physical pleasures to build the stability and security throughout their lives. Virgos are here to make sense of it and how we can work with it. So when it comes to perfectionism in Virgo, we might want to use another word. How about synthesis? The ultimate psychological need for Virgos is to combine various fragments of knowledge and experience into an organized whole. Virgo utilizes discrimination as a tool to examine and evaluate life's details, but synthesis is the motivation behind it. Virgos dissect things to understand how the parts fit together to create order, not merely just to be critical. Synthesis is their obsessive need to locate the missing pieces and organize them into a coherent picture. This can come off looking like perfectionism. Can you all see that? Urge has two sides. As a gift, it leaves Virgo exceptionally adept to deciphering complicated, chaotic circumstances. When reality doesn't fit neatly into a structured, well-organized whole, it can cause individuals to become insane. All this can come off as a person who is harsh, cynical, and looks a lot like perfectionism. There's this impulse with Virgos to serve, and I know this all too well. Virgos, service in relationships. Virgos aim for a self-possessed psyche, a fully realized, integrated version of themselves. They don't search for a codependent spouse to complete them. Instead, they try to comprehend the entire inner structure of the individual that they love and assist them in refining it by using their synthesizing minds to analyze a partner's shortcomings and strengths. No bueno, Virgo. There are two sides to this desire for their synthesis in partnerships. Although it can result in a profound fulfillment, eventually the Virgo is frequently deeply frustrated by this. Virgos see their partner's imperfections or erratic moods as missing pieces to a puzzle. To produce a flawless, harmonic image, they attempt to analyze, restructure, and repair their partners. It's not good. Eventually, their partners experience judgment, micromanagement, and a lack of affection for their true selves. Virgo needs to learn the hard lesson of detachment in order for synthesis to succeed. They must resist the temptation to manipulate the pieces while using their logical minds to fully understand their partners. The partner will never exactly align with Virgo's orderly synthesis because people are naturally messy and unpredictable, right? Virgo then feels worn out, undervalued, and romantically disillusioned as a result. And, this is my father in a nutshell, okay? Let me tell you, he was married 7 times. That should try to tell you that he kept trying to make his partner be who he wanted it to be. It doesn't work that way. He just kept marrying people in order to finally create the perfect person that he was never going to get. Anyway, okay. Speaking of him, another Virgo energy, let's talk about that hustler. I promise I'd come back to this. Mercury was the god of thieves, traitors, tricksters in ancient mythology, in addition to being the deity of wisdom. As for the hustler, in Virgo, the hustler's edge refers to a particular set of survival skills. When reality and its challenges weigh too much, and where optimism and belief and confidence weigh too little, the hustler appears in Virgos. These people can twist everything to be bargained for. These can be the people who will sell you water and tell you it's vodka. They will sell you something at a great price, but then ask, what's it worth to you? My father was the Virgo hustler. When I was learning about Virgos, I was so confused because my mom is a pure Virgo, but Michael was nothing of the sort until I learned about the negative side of Virgos. And I'm like, there he is. That's him. Yep, there it is. Got it. Found it. Okay, there's a lot to Virgo, so let's dive into relationships. Virgos are realistic, caring people who show love by being useful and helpful. Oh, they do this so well. Their love languages are acts of service. Seldom does Virgo show dramatic theatrical gestures of affection, and emotional displays are uncommon ways for Virgos to show love. Rather, Virgo people demonstrate their affection of their loved ones by doing useful things for them. Whether this is organizing your calendar or fixing things or providing a calm, straightforward guidance during a life crisis, they want to be helpful. And they are. That's the thing. They are truly helpful, but not everybody's looking for that kind of love, right? This is so true. As much as I know my mother loves me with everything, I know in my soul I am her world and she is mine. But she couldn't express her love for me verbally. Not until just a few years ago did my mom and I begin to say, I love you. Hey, look, you are never too late for anything, by the way. For me, I need to hear you love me. My mom was showing her love through acts of service. We had to come to the middle, and she needed to understand that the acts of service wasn't enough. I love what she does for me, but I still yearn to hear her say, I love you, even though I could feel it. We are so good now, and we don't go a day without telling each other how much we love one another. The mysterious, aloof aura of Virgo signifies, thank you, but please respect my privacy, said every Virgo. They expect their romantic partner to share their psychological self-possession and stay true to themselves. Virgos do not love blindly, in contrast to the signs that transfer romantic fantasies on their lovers like the fire signs. Their keen sense of perception allows them to spot your weakness right away, including your emotional protection mechanisms and anxious attachments. Your flaws are what Virgo adores about you. Instead of refined perfection, they find solace in everyday human truth. On the shadow, raw, erratic, or uncontrollable emotions are extremely frightening to a Virgo. They can only open up emotionally in a setting of complete trust because they thrive on order. If that trust is betrayed, they either withdraw behind a wall of icy analysis or unleash a sharp, destructive tongue that weaponizes every flaw they have subtly noticed in you. This was my father in a nutshell, okay? Virgos can be very judgmental and cynical and very critical of others. Virgos can dismiss relationships with coldness that terrify more sentimental signs if a relationship becomes completely meaningless, stagnant, or utterly disorganized, with no way forward. The shadow of Virgo withdraws into the construction of intellectual structures out of a fear of messy, unpredictable character of intense passion. They analyze love like a mathematical problem, intellectualizing their emotions. They avoid being overwhelmed emotionally by keeping others at a distance and selecting relationships that are secure, predictable, or uncomplicated. An exhausted dynamic of servitude and anger can develop from a Virgo's sincere desire to be helpful. They take on tasks that no one asked them to do, overwork themselves, and clean up other people's messes. They then turn this service as a weapon, nagging people and making them feel bad for not appreciating what they have sacrificed. Or they do all this work and they're silent and nobody ever tells them how grateful they are. They just kind of get walked on and expected to they're going to take care of them because that's what they do. They're always picking up behind them. They're always, doing their laundry, and then they just forget to say thank you every once in a while. We should all say thank you to our Virgos who are definitely servicing us. Another shadow of Virgo are they can only focus on the flaws of another. This was my father. By reducing everything to an unachievable checklist of perfection, they lose sight of the big picture and undermine life's joy and spontaneity. They compulsively attempt to control their physical body or surroundings rather than deal with the unstable emotions. For Virgos, integration, not perfectionism, will be the cure for these shadow sides of Virgo. Listen, if you love a Virgo and you see them endlessly working, cleaning up, doing your laundry, please give them a break. They're not here to serve us. They're here to help put our lives in order. I see this with my mom. She's constantly moving and doing something. I don't know if that woman will ever stop doing dishes, cooking for everyone, laundry. She doesn't stop. And I wish she would. Virgos view romance through a perspective of realism and desire to serve others. And we will look at how they are in relation to others through the other elements. We will begin with Virgo and the water sign. Virgos with the water signs, which are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Water signs will test Virgo's need for order while providing the emotional depth that Virgos long for. This is why I get along so well with Virgos. Again, we sextile each other. I do love many, many Virgos, and I need Virgos in my life. Without a doubt, I love Virgos. The attraction. Well, water evokes emotion, mysterious qualities, and vulnerability. Virgo's ability to discriminate aids in deciphering and comprehending these nuanced feelings. The friction? Water signs may be temperamental or illogical. A water partner may find Virgo's attempts to rationally assess or fix these emotions unsettling or plain just piss them off. Okay? Especially the Cancer and the Scorpio. For sure. The lesson for Virgos is they need to understand that not all emotions can be perfectly categorized or dealt with. Sometimes people just need to feel, okay? That's it. You don't need to find a place to put it, okay, Virgos? Just let the person have their emotion. That's it. All right, Virgo with the fire signs. The fire signs, we should know this because we've already went through the fire element, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Virgo's cautious, practical temperament is directly challenged by the passion and vision that fire brings. But remember, fire and earth attract each other. Craziness of relationships in life, right? So what's the attraction? Fire encourages Virgos to take chances and deviate from their routines. Virgo gives the fire pragmatic foundation it needs to make bold ideas into reality. Yeah? So they can go very well together. The friction, though, fire signs behave on impulse and despise being micromanaged. That is like the one thing fire signs cannot do is be micromanaged. Fire's excitement, and it's dampened by Virgo's discrimination, which can take the form of harsh criticism and being super cynical. The lesson is that despite the lack of a clear plan, Virgo must recognize the validity of fire's enthusiasm. Virgo, letting loose a little, will benefit the attraction to the fire sign. Listen up a little bit, Virgo. That's it. That's all we're asking. Okay, Virgo with the earth signs. That's easy. Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. They're going to be together. Or I should say, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Although this connection is based on shared realities and is quite compatible, it runs the risk of being predictable. The attraction. Both partners value security, hard work, and intellect. They instantly appreciate each other's standard of quality. Remember, I had two parents. They were both Virgos. It really depends. Are you the shadow side of Virgo? Are you the young Virgo? Or are you the Virgo who is, taking life serious? Think about that. Remember that, it doesn't always work that way, but it is what it is. The friction can be, with the two earth signs, is discrimination can turn inward. The relationship can be hyper-focused on flaws, chores, material security, draining the romance. The lesson? They must use their discernment to protect their downtime and keep life from becoming all work and no play. No, that's the one thing I see with Virgos. It's like, we gotta, unless you're a Virgo with a lot of fire, you probably do have, a lot of fun and you can get out there. But if you're a Virgo and who has, let's say, a lot of earth in your chart, that can make it really difficult. Or strong Saturn. I mean, it is just what it is. Virgos just need to learn to relax a little bit, but it's hard. Virgo with air signs, that is Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Since both of these components are mental in nature, this is an extremely intelligent combination. The attraction, they enjoy discussing, debating, analyzing ideas. Air values Virgo's analytic, well-organized mind, and I find this to be true as I'm a Libra rising. That is the one thing I do love Virgos, is that the conversations that we have are just absolutely amazing, and they never go dry, at least for me. The friction, air signs are detachable and exist in theory. Air feels confined or under pressure because of Virgo's discrimination, which expects daily devotion and tangible results. The lesson is that Virgo must embrace air's yearning for creative freedom without trying to fit every concept into a workable framework. Wow, that's it for Virgo. I think I went a long time again. Take all this upcoming Virgo energy and let's make this shit into a practical system. Okay, so now you know about Virgos. Take this Virgo information, look at your chart, see where it is. Now take your chart, look to see where you have Virgo, what house it's in, and use this energy to get shit done in the next month as the sun is shining a light on that sign in that house. So wherever you have it is where energy is going to be going. Okay, that's it for this week. I do want to announce that school starts next week. I had an incredibly busy summer. I wanted and planned to record out months in advance, but that did not happen with all the changes that have happened in the last few months for me. I will only bring out 2 podcasts a month due to my heavy work and school schedule, which will be every other week, I am hoping. School should not be as demanding as last semester, as I do not have to kill my brain in math anymore. Thank goodness! If you haven't already, please subscribe and share the show. My idea for this is so everyone in the world can learn about who they are and how to tap into this mystical knowledge of self. And once we have an awareness of who we actually are and what we were meant to be here on this earth, your life changes completely, I promise. Okay, take care, y'all, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.